What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got some new information coming out here that the Department of Justice's investigation on Donald Trump and the Mar-a-Lago FBI search and seizure appears to be moving towards criminal charges for Trump, a former top counterintelligence official says. And then we're also getting information here that says if prosecutors decide to indict Trump, that they'll wait until after the November midterm elections to do so. Because, first, citing people familiar with the matter, the Department of Justice is currently investigating that Trump violated 3 federal laws, including the Espionage Act, when he improperly moved government secret records to Mar-a-Lago upon leaving office and resisted turning them over for more than a year. And that prosecutors are zeroing in on Trump as part of a separate ongoing investigation into the January 6th Capitol attack. According to long-standing department policy, prosecutors are banned from taking over investigative steps within 60 days of an election that could influence the outcome of a race or races. That said, it's unlikely prosecutors would have level charges against Trump before the midterms, even if the department policy didn't bar it. Earlier this month, a top counterintelligence official at the Department of Justice told the federal magistrate judge that the investigation into Trump's handling of the government documents is still in its very preliminary stages. So it looks like there could still be quite a bit of work here to go. And let me know your thoughts. Do you think that there's going to be charges filed on this? Do you think it will be before or after the election, if it happens at all? Here's what Fox News had to say earlier on this. Check this out.
Yeah, and we've heard from all the reporting that Donald Trump believed that these documents were his. They belong to me. And that privacy argument we heard even last night from his attorneys. Well, Karl Rove was talking about that last night on Fox News. Here's what he said.
That's its own situation that the DOJ is investigating, and the Trump side has their lawyers and their feelings about what was rightfully his and able to take. But it's just interesting.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear on this. None of these government documents are his to have taken. I agree with the deputy director who said that a lot of the former president's problems are of his own creation. You can, under the Presidential Records Act of 1978, you cannot take original documents out of the White House with you when you leave the White House, whether you're the president of the United States or any of his aides. No, it's verboten under the law. Now, there are no criminal penalties for violating it, but why the former president packed up 20, nearly 30 some odd boxes of material when he had no right to do so, and that's what the government asserts, incidentally, in this filing. They say the former president asked for the return of the documents because, as he said in his filing, they were created during his administration, and the response of the government, in their filing was that's evidence that they aren't his. If they were developed in the White House during his time of presidency under the Presidential Records Act, they belong to the government, not to him.
Well, there it is, Joe. I mean, this is so clear cut that there are people who have defended Trump a lot in the last several years who just can't do it on this because it's so plain that he cannot have those documents in his house. And we showed Steve Doocy earlier. He was not only in the clip we showed, but explaining to his co-host yesterday, you just can't have top secret documents in the top drawer of your desk at Mar-a-Lago. So this is breaking through in places where some other stories about Donald Trump have not.
By the way, Karl Rove was the deputy chief of staff and senior advisor for George W. Bush, former President George W. Bush, Republican, obviously. So let me know your thoughts here on this. What do you think is going to happen? By the way, there's a lot of people going on here about this, that this photo here, this FBI photo of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago was staged. You can see here that this mar-a-lago was standard procedure, despite Trump's claim it was staged to make him look bad. So just so everybody's clear, these documents were not found like this on the floor. The FBI put all these here to take the photo. So, you know, they they weren't found like that, okay? So they put them there and then took the photo and they put the 2A evidence there. You can see there. After the Department of Justice released a photograph showing the documents labeled top secret splayed across the floor of Trump's Mar-a-Lago office, the former president called the image deceiving, and his allies claimed the photo was staged to make Trump look bad. But a former FBI agent said the evidence photo was just standard protocol. The image showed redacted documents spread out on the carpeted floor of Mar-a-Lago, some of which have cover pages reading top secret and secret on them. They took them out of cartons and spread them around on the carpet, making it look like a big find for them. They dropped them, not me. Very deceiving, Trump wrote. A Trump attorney called the image a staged photo op. Bobby Chacon, a retired FBI agent, told Insider that the photo was indeed staged for a legitimate purpose. That's how they spread the evidence out and take a photo of it. It's just a trail to be as thorough as you can in documenting where every item came from within a search. And a search of this graphic magnitude, when you're searching a resort area this large, you want to make sure that you're very thorough and you document where everything was. The two federal law enforcement officers from the New York Times that the folders weren't discovered on the floor. They were arranged like that by the agents after they were removed from Trump's office. Most agents will take a photo of the findings in its original form, then spread it out afterwards so individual findings can be traced back to their original location. Agents typically take photos at the start of the search, when they recover any evidence during the search, and at the end of the search as well. The Department of Justice court filings notably only included one photo, but other parts of the search process also exist. They probably also videotaped this entire process as well. Remember that this is an ongoing investigation, and they're not just releasing all this information to the public during an ongoing investigation. And remember, this is classified information. They're not even going to release the classified information to the public at all. It's locations of like where troops are and confidential informants and potential nuclear secrets of our country and things like that. So there's so many things that they're not going to release because A, it's an investigation. B, these are top secret classified documents. Okay, and as I said, they probably went in and first of all, Donald Trump has filmed footage of all this stuff with his security cameras. Two is that the FBI, if you've ever watched a crime scene anything, they film as they go in. Okay, so the FBI has film footage of literally going through the whole place. Donald Trump probably has it too as well because he has cameras throughout his place. So they both probably have film footage as well. They've only released a few photos to the public because that's all they really can and want to because it's an ongoing investigation and it's classified stuff. So you got to be aware of the propaganda and the false claims and stuff like this going on here, and really kind of think this stuff through about what you're hearing and reading. So just be aware of that kind of stuff. And we're starting to see a massive recession start to take place here. You can see this massive headline here. Things are starting to get bad in the housing industry. U.S. mortgage lenders are starting to go bankrupt. How this one factor could be triggering the worst surge of failures since 2008. Yeah, and the real estate market just can't catch a break. With inventory of resale homes remaining low and rising interest rates now making it harder for buyers to justify making the leap. And now we can add mortgage lender bankruptcies and the rise and fall of non qualified mortgages to the factors aggravating an already uncertain market. One number rules them all. While many factors drag on the real estate market, one data point carries the most significant: interest rates, and rising interest rates right now. With the Fed's laser focus on rising interest rates to cool inflation, there's little reason to think the effect on lending and the broader housing market will ease anytime soon. Higher mortgage rates, the average 30-year fixed rate was still well above 5% now at the end of August going into September, will dictate how much home they can afford. This also affects sellers, many of whom will eventually become buyers and likely depend on loans. We're also seeing significantly less people buying homes now because of how quickly interest rates have gone up, and people realizing that that same home costs a lot more. So whether you're buying a home for 200, 400, $600,000, the same amount of the loan just costs more money because interest rates are higher. Unless you're writing a check for the home in full, it costs more money because interest rates have gone up dramatically. You could see here US housing slowdown intensifies as higher mortgage rates shrink demand. The latest downtick in activity coincided with another spike in mortgage rates, which has cooled slightly from June highs, only to surge again as the Federal Reserve signals plans for long term policy tightening, more interest rate hikes. Mortgage applications have remained at nearly 22-year low for months. So the amount of people now that are actually buying homes, whether they're new homes or, homes from other people, are at 22-year lows because of how much interest rates have gone up. So this has really sent the home market into a recession, but this has brought prices down significantly, aka lowering inflation. So now people are no longer bidding over the asking price significantly, putting more supply on the markets. Because just recently we were seeing massive, almost everywhere in every single state, where people were the day homes were going for sale, there was dozens of people bidding on homes. It was almost unheard of, like we have never seen before, where there were dozens of people bidding over asking price, $25,000, $50,000 or more over asking price. It was insane. It was insane. So yeah, interest rates were low, but you would have to bid $50,000 over the asking price just to maybe win a house. So now you don't have to do that, but you have to pay a higher interest rate. But in a few years, when interest rates hopefully come back down, you can refinance. But we really didn't want to see over asking price $50,000 or something like that for a long time, because it's just not a normal environment for home buyers or car buyers, because we were seeing the same type of thing with cars where they were going for over asking price, over MSRP, pretty much everywhere in the country. Cars were selling out the day they landed, and just especially if it was a new type of car, they were impossible to get and selling for way more than they should have, let alone the chip shortage. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. All this was kind of adding to inflation, and this is part of the reason why the Fed is raising interest rates. By the way, countries all around the world are raising interest rates. This is a proven method to bring down inflation. The US was actually criticized a little bit for being one of the later countries to do it last. So we're doing it now. And you can see it is bringing down the prices of like homes and the prices of cars and things like that. It's just something that has to be done. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. So make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet, and click the bell icon so you get notifications when we go live with new videos, which come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to watch my newest video next, and you can click here to see my new video on Social Security raises of $2,400. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.